This is where all of these quotes come from. This is the number one vetted site online for if you want to read the Talmud in a unedited, unbiased way. Let's get into this. Bava Kama. It is permitted to deceive a Gentile. So when Jews get into the whole rigmarole of, our Talmud doesn't say that, that's just stuff rabbis say, that's outdated beliefs. When people say never trust a Jew, this is exactly what they are talking about. It is permitted to deceive a Gentile. Another one that stuck out from Sanhedrin. A Gentile who struck a Jew is liable to receive death penalty. One who slaps the cheek of a Jew is considered as though he slapped the cheek of the divine presence. So this is a clear indication of Jews seeing themselves as better than the goy, the Gentile. And then we have another quote here. A young girl who is 3 years and 1 day of age is eligible for marriage. Do we even have to get into that? Do we even have to talk about this one? Moving on. An adult man who engaged in intercourse with a minor girl less than 3 years old, which is the eligible age for marriage as stated before, has done nothing. The ruptured hymen will be restored. So, let me get this straight. It is permissible to marry a girl if she is 3 years and 1 day of age. At that point, she becomes eligible for marriage. But you cannot, under no circumstance, marry a girl under that age, but you can sleep with her because her hymen will be restored, because she won't be scarred. This is what we're dealing with. We have another from Sanhedrin. If a child who is less than 9 years old engages in homosexual intercourse passively, the one who engages in intercourse with him is not liable. People want to absolutely condemn the Catholic Church for the stereotypes that their priests have, and it's 100% condemnable. If you sleep with children, whether male or female, that is a bad thing. I think that's something we can all agree upon. But what these same people, it's always the atheist, that archetype of person, they're so quick to condemn Christianity, Catholicism, but if you bring up this, it's almost like they don't want to believe you. So we do have, that was just the top 5. We do have an honorable mention, though, and I know 90% of you watching this have probably heard this. The best of Gentiles should be killed. This was taken from a rabbi. He made this statement. This is just there to showcase how they do feel about the goy, about the non-Jew. If a Gentile has fallen into a pit and requests help out, you may not help him. Instead, make up an excuse as to why you must leave. A Jewish woman shall not allow a Gentile woman to nurse her baby, as she may apply poison before entering the house. And now this one specifically, it does showcase really the mindset of how the Jews feel about non-Jewish people. But with this one, there is, that thought of, well, this was for a different time when Jews were absolutely hated. They had a lot of enemies. But that would be a good argument if it wasn't for the fact that Jewish people today stand on 10 toes that the Talmud is one of the most important aspects of understanding Judaism today. So this is all a part of their belief. This is all wrapped up in it, every single thing. Do not return a lost item to a Gentile. It is prohibited. If you find something, if you lose your fucking bicycle and a Jew finds it, it is prohibited for them to give it back. It is permitted to financially benefit from a business error of a Gentile. It need not be returned. So that's kind of piggybacking on the last one. It comes right after the last one, but it's getting a bit more specific when it comes to money and not just like material possessions. One cannot engage in business with a Christian on any day of the week. So this really highlights how they feel about Christians. There is another passage. I don't know if I included it in here or not, but it is a part. This comes like right after the passage I'm thinking of, where it says that there are certain days of the week where you can't do business with a Gentile, and then it specifies that you cannot engage in business with a Christian on any day of the week. So, I mean, these people, they fucking hate Jesus. And Christians. People nowadays have been absolutely brainwashed into believing that Jews, because they are white, because they have a democracy in the Middle East, that they are a representation of the West. They are our brothers. These people couldn't be further from it. And we're going to give some more evidence as to why that is. The Jewish people are called Adam, but the Gentiles are not called Adam. The Jewish people are called man, but the Gentiles are not called man. So in these passages, we have it loosely referencing that Adam being the first man, the person all humans have descended from. They claim that the Gentiles are not to be likened with Adam, a human, the one that everyone originates from. They are a different breed. So we're going to get into some Jewish law. A Gentile who engages in Torah study is liable to receive death penalty. It's one thing if it's like just one-off quotes, like this one up here with the a Jewish woman shall not allow a Gentile woman to nurse her baby, as she may apply poison to entering the house. It's like, okay, maybe that's from a time where that did actually happen and there was provisions to stop this from happening. But it's like again and again and again and again and again and again. And then Jews, instead of disputing it, instead of being like, okay, we agree with some of it, but like some of it is like, they stand on it. They're like, the Talmud is the most important, one of the most important. And whenever you bring stuff up like this to them, they lie. They tell you it doesn't exist. They tell you it's a misquote, a misrepresentation of what's actually in here. These are direct quotes. These are direct quotes. Look them up yourself. So we'll continue on to get a little bit more into how they view rape. If the girl is less than that age, younger than 3 years and 1 day, the status of intercourse with her is not that of intercourse in all halalic senses. Rather, it is like placing a finger into the eye. Just as in that case, the eye constricts, sheds tears, and then returns to its original state, so too, in a young girl that is 3 years and 1 day, the hymen returns to its original state. It's basically saying, if you rape a girl who's younger than 3, you did no wrong because she will be restored. When you put all this together, it all seems pretty damning. It all seems pretty indefensible, and it is. It is indefensible, and they know this, which is why we go back to it is permitted to deceive a Gentile. Because you can't admit to the non-Jew that this is a part of your most important understanding of your faith. Because any rational person who reads this goes, wait a minute. What? What? You know, we love to give the Muslims shit for Muhammad's wife being 9 years old. How about 3? How about 3 years old in one day? This is what's permitted in the Jewish faith, in the Jewish religion. And even if it is, you know, outdated to the point where realistically Jews may not be taking on 3-year-old wives, have you seen the sex offender map of Israel? I mean, 81 of all sexual assault cases don't go to conviction. So even if they claim it's outdated, it doesn't happen, these people are predators, to put it bluntly. And it's not all of them. That's not to say that all Jews are pedophiles or predators. But it is to say that the Jewish people who are serious about their faith, who are really into their faith, who are devoted to their faith, they're scum.